Okay, so first up we have my Adidas Adi Powers, and these are an Olympic weightlifting shoe, so the heel is raised 3/4 of an inch. Basically, if you have bad ankle mobility, what that's gonna allow you to do is get into a better position at the bottom of the squat, allow you to maintain that upright torso. So these are just a great pair of shoes, solid heel, extremely flat and grippy on the bottom. It just feels like you're glued to the ground when you put these on. So I use these for front squats mostly right now, and a little bit of high bar squats when I throw those in, but just an awesome shoe to squat in. Next up, we got the Reebok Light TR, and this is hands down the most comfortable shoe I have ever owned. I've had Vans, I've had Converses that I've lifted in, and for the price, you just can't beat these. So they have a super wide toe box, which allows for great stability. They're extremely flat, just like the Adi Powers, are really grippy. They're a little more form-fitting than the Adi Powers. The Adi Powers are more rigid, but this is just a great shoe to squat and deadlift in. If my gym bag ever got stolen, this would be the one item in there I would probably cry over losing. My Inzer 10mm belt. Just blood, sweat, and tears and PRs, you know, put in with this belt. So it's got a lot of sentimental value to me. And Inzers don't come broken in, so like the first 3 months I had it, it was just bleeding every time I wore it. But I can recommend Inzer, Best Belts, Pioneer, or Cardillo if you guys are looking for a belt. A good belt is priceless. Next up, we have my workout log. Not a journal, it's a workout log. Depending on what kind of program I'm running, I'm logging everything in here, or I'm logging everything in Excel. It's an invaluable tool to tracking your progress. Tape, a lock, chalk, and knee wraps. SBD Knee Sleeves. So these are super comfortable to wear for a whole workout, and they just provide that extra stability around the knee joint. And they also double as shin savers for the deadlift. Bands to make a dance. All right, so we got a bunch of assorted bands here, a bunch of different tensions. I use these for everything from warming up to mobility exercises and adding in accommodating resistance to different movements that I'm doing. Next up, we got my rumble roller and a homemade dog bone. The homemade dog bone is just 2 lacrosse balls taped together. Because the rumble roller has spikes on it, you can use it to get into deep corners that with a normal roller you wouldn't be able to get to. And I use the dog bone to release tension in my T-spine. It's really good at getting in between each of the ribs. I don't use these too often, but they come in handy sometimes. Fractional plates. So basically they go from 1/4 pound, 1/2 pound, 3/4 pound, and 1 pound. All right, not even joking, I use this to warm up every single lower body day, the Slingshot Hip Circle. Obviously it's great to warm up the hips, but it's also really good to warm up your glutes. And I wear it for my first few sets of squat warm-ups to prime my abductors. If your gym's anything like mine, you definitely need headphones. So these are the Monster iSport Freedoms, and they're wireless, and I've had them for 2 years now, and they've actually held up really well. I think they're coming out with a new version of these, so if you're looking for new headphones, keep an eye out. Wrist wraps, wrist straps, wrist cuffs. Wraps, straps, cuffs. Wraps, straps, cuffs. Not sure why it's so hard for people to keep these straight, but these are the Gangster Wraps by Slingshot, and they're super solid. This is the longer size, but I'd probably recommend going with the shorter one. You can't go wrong with some generic bodybuilding.com wrist straps. One of my more recent purchases is these wrist cuffs, and I've been using them a lot for shoulder movements, like cable shoulder movements, and also some tricep movements. I get so many comments on this little guy at the gym. This is the dead wedge, and basically it's just for deadlifting. You know, you roll the plates up on there so you can load more plates on. You could totally use a 5 or 10 pound plate instead, but this thing is just super smooth. Probably my favorite tool right now is these fit grips. So I'm using them more for pressing movements actually, because it gives you a larger surface area to press into. and I feel like it takes my tricep out of a lot of pressing movements. So these are getting a lot of use, and I'm really enjoying using them. Another Slingshot product here, we have the Reactive Slingshot, which is the weakest slingshot that Mark Bell makes. And basically what I'll use this for is to just kind of add in some extra volume. You know, after I've done my working sets, throw this on, throw a little bit more weight on, and just bust out a few more sets. This stuff is super versatile. So this is Voodoo Floss, and basically what I'll use it for is to wrap joints and kind of promote recovery by driving blood, you know, into those joints. I also use them a lot for blood flow restriction training. So that's what's in my gym bag, guys. It literally weighs like 20 or 30 pounds as I'm lugging it around the gym. I do want to say one thing though. These are all tools to enhance your lifting experience. None of them matter as much as the amount of effort that you're gonna put in. You could have all of the tools, you know, in the world. You could have the best knee sleeves and shoes and all that crap. But if you don't put in any effort, you're never gonna get where you want to be. You know, I just want to make that clear that, you know, these are tools to aid you in growing the physique or building the strength that you want to build. They're not shortcuts. They're not gonna get you there without the effort. So this was a highly requested video. So if you're digging the video, hit that like button, hit that subscribe button, and I will see you guys in the next one. Peace.